Inexcusable. That's the message the Warner Robins mayor has after a deadly weekend shooting. The message she also has for those responsible.
The Carl Vinson VA is cutting down on dangerous illnesses like pneumonia by getting veterans to pick up their toothbrushes more often. I'll tell you some of the advice you'll probably get from your mom is potentially saving lives.
Well, good morning, everyone. What a beautiful start to the day in Dublin this morning. It is 6:30 on this Wednesday, September 8th. I'm Caitlin Heck.
And I'm Wanya Reese. I mean, a beautiful start to the day now, but if you were waking up this morning around 3 o'clock, you probably heard all the lightning and thundering that was going down in Macon.
Oh, yeah. Thankfully, it's missed Houston County, but I have a feeling everybody's going to get a little something today, Alex.
Oh, yeah, Caitlin. Got about a 70% chance of rain today, especially during the afternoon hours. I'll show you that here in just a second, but let's first start off down in Lawrence County. Temperature is 73, waking up on this Wednesday morning across the area. All of us in the mid to low 70s. 74 the current number in Macon and in Warner Robins, hanging on to 72 there in Forsyth, 75 already in Americus, and 73 over in Johnson County on this Wednesday morning. Live radar quiet for most of us. Not in Putnam County, though. We've seen a thunderstorm flare up here in the past few minutes. Also, pocket of heavy rain just south of Monticello. That's going to be moving towards Hancock County here in the next little bit, and that's going to be possible through the morning hours. And like Caitlin and Wanya were just talking about, if you heard something through the overnight hours, it was probably a thunderstorm in North Macon. Saw a pretty good one right around 3 o'clock in northern Bibb County, southern Monroe County, and into parts of Jones County. Didn't get a whole lot of rain out of it, but where they did get a whole lot of rain last night, North Metro Atlanta, 4 to 6 inches of rain in parts of the Peach State in a very short period of time, seeing some pictures of flooding ongoing across Metro Atlanta. As for today, though, headed for a high temperature of about 84 degrees with numerous showers and storms. Looking at overcast skies through a majority of the day, that means temperatures will slowly warm to that temperature of 84.
Thank you, Alex. We start this half hour with the latest in coronavirus news as hospitals across the country brace for potential case increases after the Labor Day holiday.
We spoke to one health leader in Central Georgia who worries numbers could rise following the holiday and as more people head to packed events this fall.
I'm sure a lot of people watched the Georgia-Clemson game, and you looked and you saw the crowds out there, very few people wearing masks. There was no social distancing, people at the beach, people out with dinner.
Here's holiday season. We started seeing the second COVID-19 surge. Now, almost a year later, healthcare workers say they're prepping for another wave and starting in the next month or so.
Chief Operating Officer for Houston Healthcare, Dr. Melinda Hartley, says the Delta variant is hitting their emergency rooms and intensive care units even harder than previous surges. She says as of yesterday afternoon, they had 146 COVID-19 cases in their hospitals.
The thing that is so very different with this is the age group that we're seeing. With our first and second waves, we saw a lot of elderly people pass away. Now we're seeing people between the ages of 30 and 60.
Now, just to put things into perspective, Hartley says they have 18 ICU beds and Perry Hospital has 4, but they have more than 70 critical care patients who need that space. The
North Central Health District sits at about 36% of people who are fully vaccinated, and all 13 counties are in high transmission status. Well, less than half of the Peach State has gotten fully vaccinated. You may need to roll up your sleeves before rolling up to sporting events in Washington State and help us on the way for some workers affected by the pandemic. Let's catch you up on 3 other COVID-19 related headlines we're following for you this morning. Here in Georgia, over 44% of the state is fully vaccinated. The State Department of Public Health shows that more than 4.6 million Georgians, over 5.3 million are at least partially vaccinated, or 52%. Compared to the rest of the country, Georgia ranks around 41 out of 50 states in the percent of population with at least 1 dose. That's all according to the CDC. Speaking of vaccines, that will soon be one of the requirements for some sport fans in Washington State. The NFL's Seattle Seahawks, MLS's Sounders, NHL's Kraken, MLB's Mariners, the University of Washington, and Washington State University. That's a lot. All announced updated policies yesterday. Most of these teams plan to require fans to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test to get in. The Mariners say fans should plan to provide proof of vaccination for any potential postseason games the team hosts, and the Kraken will only allow vaccinated fans at their games. Farm and food workers impacted by the pandemic may get some relief. Yesterday, the U.S. Agricultural Secretary announced $700 million in grant funding. It will be available through the new Farm and Food Workers Relief Grant Program. It's to help farm and meat packaging workers in pandemic-related health and safety costs. The USDA says $20 million of this amount is set aside for at least one pilot program. That's to support grocery workers and test options for reaching them in the future.
In other news this morning, police are still searching for answers in a Warner Robins shooting that left a teen dead and 4 others hurt. City leaders are speaking out after the deadly shooting, including Mayor Randy Toms. During last night's council meeting, he made it clear that events like this are not acceptable.
This is sad, it's inexcusable, and it will not be tolerated in Warner Robins. And I join Mr. Bibb and our police department in saying we're going to do everything we can to find who did this and make them pay.
15-year-old Tanila Johnson died Saturday after the shooting at a block party. Warner Robins Police Chief John Wagner says more than one person fired into the crowd, but they're still trying to identify the shooters. It happened in a neighborhood called The States near Malden Court and Dunmary Place. The 4 others hurt are expected to recover. And jury selection in Donnie Roe's death penalty trial is now in its 2nd week. So far, attorneys are 20 jurors short of the number they need before they can move on to final selections. Roe is one of 2 men accused of killing 2 Georgia corrections officers aboard a prison bus in Putnam County in 2017. Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sill says attorneys selected 37 jurors so far. They need a pool of 57 before it's narrowed down to the final group of 12 jurors and 5 alternates. The selection process is underway in Grady County. Once they pick that final 17, they'll bring them to Putnam for the trial. Roe could face the death penalty. And now to some headlines from across the state. 2 men pleaded not guilty in the death of an 8-year-old Atlanta girl.
Securia Turner died in Atlanta last year after bullets hit a vehicle she was riding in. A grand jury last month indicted Julian Connolly and Jerian McKinley. Connolly is charged with malice murder and felony murder in Securia's death. Both men face aggravated assault, gun and gang-related charges. They each pleaded not guilty on yesterday. Another Georgia school district is switching to virtual learning. It comes after 3 transportation staff members died in recent weeks. The Griffin-Spalding County school system made the announcement this week, citing a strain and disruption in transportation operations. They say online learning would start today and continue through at least this week.
Well, former President Donald Trump plans to return to Central Georgia. He'll visit Perry this month for a Save America rally. The Save America PAC says it's at the Georgia National Fairgrounds on Saturday, September 25th. That's 2 weeks from this Saturday. The rally could serve as a way for the former president to gather support for several Republican candidates running for office, including Herschel Walker. Walker grew up in Wrightsville and recently filed paperwork to enter the U.S. Senate race against Senator Raphael Warnock next year. Well, we still don't know the fate of possibly extending a new pawn shop ban in Macon. Last night, County Commission passed a motion to table the vote until later. 3 Macon pawn shop owners spoke to commissioners about the current moratorium. When it came down to voting on their decision, Commissioner Elaine Lucas proposed holding off until more conversations with people and more research could be done. The ban on new pawn shops originally started in February and expired at the end of August. If this one is passed, the moratorium would last another 9 months. Well, the time is now 6:38. We were talking a little bit about it yesterday at midday. We have less than a month until the fair.
I know, and I cannot wait.
I cannot wait. That means funnel cakes, and that means fall weather. It's not there yet.
You know, and if we're smart, we could go like after the midday show when it's not as crowded and
true.
enjoy everything. No lines. I know I love the rides.
The rides, the food.
Oh, yes, Alex. I can't wait for you to experience the fair.
I know. I have not been yet, so this will be my first fair.
You are in for a
here.
treat.
It's an experience.
Oh, I have no doubt. I certainly love a good funnel cake, so I'm certainly looking forward to it down in Perry here in less than a month. Yeah, hard to believe, but hopefully it'll be feeling like fall then. Doesn't feel like it at the moment. 74 degrees is what you're waking up to in Bibb County this morning, with winds out of the west-northwest at about 5 miles an hour. Temperatures haven't budged too much during the morning show. 74 still in Macon as well as in Warner Robins, 73 in Dublin and in Wrightsville. These temperatures are going to warm very slowly today as we have a lot of cloud cover over the area. Seeing some visibility issues out there, especially between Forsyth or so and South Metro Atlanta, is looking at about only 6 miles of visibility, actually less than 6 miles in Monticello. Also looking at some issues in Forsyth and Milledgeville. However, if you get south of Macon, you're doing A-OK on this Wednesday morning. Satellite and radar looks like this. Temperatures across the southeast in the 70s for the most part. Watching this Gulf disturbance down here, watching that for some development. I'll show you some more information on that here in just a second. Seeing a thunderstorm flare up now in Putnam County. Here's a look at Eatonton towards Lake Country. This is quickly moving towards Sparta, eventually towards Interstate 20. That'll be possible through the morning hours this morning, but I think most people stay dry until about 1 o'clock. Once we hit that 1 o'clock time, that's when the decaying front over us is going to begin to flare up. We're going to see some afternoon showers and storms across central Georgia. Temperatures should be in the 80s 80s for this, but then once you get a shower, they'll quickly fall back down into the 70s. But looking at a humid afternoon before a front begins to arrive as we head into tonight and then Thursday morning. Now, isolated showers and storms, actually some widespread showers and storms, will be possible through the overnight hours. So like we saw a thunderstorm in North Macon last night, that will be possible again on your Thursday morning, even for your Thursday commute here across central Georgia. Some pockets of heavy rain. Then by the mid-morning hours, the front itself is going to roll through central Georgia. It's not going to completely eliminate our rain chances, but it is going to do a good number to them. I think the best chance of rain tomorrow will be before noon. Then once we get into Friday, that colder and drier air begins to settle in. Friday morning feeling crisp across North Georgia, or central Georgia rather, also North Georgia. And then once we get into Saturday, that drier air is going to be even stronger, which means it'll feel even cooler on your Saturday morning here across the entire Peach State. Now, here's what I was talking about with the tropics. There's this disturbance that's bringing us the showers and storms. That's going to cross the Florida Peninsula and into the Atlantic Ocean here over the next few days. A 50% chance of development over the next 5 days. Could become our next named storm here in the next few days. So here's a look at the long-range models. Not looking at a whole lot across central Georgia as that drier air settles in. Notice a few green blips still across the Peach State, so not completely dry, but a pretty good chance that we stay dry. And then again for Sunday, and that's going to stick around as we start next work week, as well as some rain settles in across Alabama, but just looking at some cloudy skies here in central Georgia. So all in all, a 70% chance of rain today, 40% by Thursday, and 10% from there on out. As for the next 7 days of rainfall, generally speaking, less than an inch. However, we could see more than an inch up towards Lake Country. It just depends on where the heaviest downpour is set up. So for today, 84 degrees, numerous showers and storms. The average high is 89, so we'll be well below that. Notice we warm very slowly. Then into tonight, 71 with storms possible as we start your Thursday. 7 day shapes up like this. High temperatures only in the middle 80s through Saturday. A 10% chance of rain for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we're back to 90 on Monday with a 20% chance of rain to start next week.
Still ahead, one teacher at Crawford County High School has a winning equation with her students. We're surprising this week's top teacher in about 6 minutes. So where are you going? I know you're staying with us. We'll see you after the break.